your arm right there?
Yeah, I'm yanking her back. That's
You're punching her.
No.
You're punching her.
That's you can. I have a broke hand. My hand is literally. Look at my hand. My hand is literally broken. I am not trying to get in trouble for domestic violence. So
now you're in trouble for murder.
This is crazy.
This is Antoine Phillips, and what he did after he knocked his girlfriend unconscious is one of the most disturbing things caught on camera. On May 18th, 2021, late at night on Westerville Road in Columbus, Ohio, 911 dispatchers began receiving calls about a couple arguing in the street, then fighting, then something far worse. Drivers were calling in tears, saying they believed they had just hit someone laying in the middle of the road, someone they couldn't see in the dark. That someone was Jamie Fulton, 35 years old, Antoine's girlfriend of 2 years.
Because I have video of Jamie running out screaming for help and you chasing after her. Do you recall that?
No, she was in the street trying to commit suicide, and that's me. If you see, I'm telling her, I'm waving at cars to get out the way.
Antoine and Jamie had been together through everything: drugs, domestic violence charges, months of chaos and making up and falling apart again. He described their love as crazy, said he had never loved anyone like he loved her, said she was his ride or die, and then he beat her unconscious on a busy road in the middle of the night. And instead of pulling her to the sidewalk, he dragged her motionless body into the center of the lane and walked home. Jamie was struck by approximately 6 cars. Drivers couldn't see her in the dark. She never had a chance.
She's not moving at all right here. She's still not getting up. She's not moving. I don't see an arm move whatsoever. Cars are passing her. You're on your way home to Mom's house.
The entire 45 minutes, the argument, the assault, the moment he left her, was caught on surveillance cameras from multiple angles. Antoine didn't know that when police brought him in for questioning 2 weeks later. Watch as a detective sits across from a man who spent over an hour insisting he was just trying to grab his bag. Watch him look directly at video of himself beating his girlfriend and deny every single thing he is seeing. And watch what happens when a detective quietly asks,
"Do you think 12 reasonable jurors is going to believe that story?" With this video we have right now.
At the end of this video, you will see the sentence Antoine Phillips received. This is his interrogation.
All right, let's start off with this. How long have you known Jamie?
2 years.
2 years?
Yeah, we've been together 2 years.
Okay. How did you become to know Jamie?
My son, the side of the family, knew them, her and her family, I assume. And we met on Facebook and we just happened to, it just happened to find out, my son. Well, I knew her on Facebook. We were talking for a couple months on Facebook already. And then I came over to see her at her friend Tammy's house. And she was staying there. And she was going through some things with an ex-boyfriend or something. And I happened to see her friend Tammy's daughter. And I'm like, I've seen that girl before. She's always with my son. And then that's how we knew.
Okay.
She knew who my son was, and then it just blossomed from there.
So you've known her for 2 years since then. Okay. When's the last time you saw Jamie?
I seen her 17th.
Okay.
I was.
Of May?
Yeah.
Okay. What'd you guys do that day?
I'm an artist, so I make music. So she was with me. We had just separated. She had got real bad on drugs. So we had kind of just trying to figure things out, because we were the greatest. Our love was crazy. I've never loved somebody like I love her, and she made it out there. She's never loved me like she's loved anybody else.
So you both loved each other?
Oh,
for 2 years?
Been through hell and back.
So on the 17th, when you make music, like where do you make music at? Do you make it at home or okay?
Studio.
So she was with you on the 17th?
Yeah, she had got how she even got with me. She was with a couple other friends, and I had got a random message. She wasn't responding. I hadn't seen her in a week and a half because we got into an argument and then just went our separate ways. And then she was wasn't responding. And then I got random messages like, "Hey, I need your help." And I'm like, "This is weird. You need my help?" Usually I'm asking you for help. You need my help? And she said she was being held captive, and she was raped, and she needed help to get out of where she was at. And I was like, well, I don't know where you at. I don't know who you're dealing with. You know, you kind of just left. So I don't know what you want me to do. Like, and this has been consistent for like 4 months where we'll be together and then she'll leave, and then she'll be calling me to come get her or calling her dad to come get her. And I mean, I don't have a vehicle, so usually her dad gets her, picks her up and stuff, and then she rides the bus or he'll bring her to me. And I kept telling her, like, I just sat in jail for 4 months on a DV with you. You know, you dialed 911. Why aren't you dialing 911 for the situation you're in? And she was like, I didn't have my phone, and they were surrounded the house, 2 dudes and a woman. I'm like, so you want me to have my mom bring me there? And my mom is like totally not that type of person. So like, she's not even really allowed at my mom's house because she is always on drugs. So my mom doesn't, my mom's trying to help me get my life together. So me being around drugs, I would lose my mom for sure. So kept telling her, call 911, that's your best option, or why don't you call your dad? Anytime we've ever gotten into it and you call your dad, he comes. So why are you not calling your dad? She's like, well, all right, I messaged him, he's asleep. I'm like, okay, well, take off running out of the house and scream and yell, because, white girl in Linden area, oh, you're definitely going to get noticed. So, because that area is hellified crazy. So, I'm like, that's all you gotta do. Then she's like, oh, well, my dad answered the phone. He said the same thing you said, dial 911, but he's coming to get me. So I said, all right, well, that's a plus. So I'm like, well, you can either come to me or you can go to his house, but they wouldn't let her stay there. So that's why she would be in the street. So I violated ankle monitor. Because,
you did?
Yeah, I've been on ankle monitor, I was working everything. I started a second job because I tried to get us a place. So I started working a second job, and then that's when they said that I was under violation for the ankle monitor because I couldn't be out like that. So my ankle monitor dude said, look, I'm done, ankle monitor's done, talk to your attorney, you get a court date, show up to the court date. That's the last thing I could say. He said, if you got any questions, talk to your attorney. Talked to my attorney. He said, look, I'll figure it out. Jason Inman. He said, I'll figure things out. In the meantime, don't get in no trouble. You're probably going to have to turn yourself in. Well, there's a warrant, so you're going to have to turn yourself in. And, we'll figure it out from there.
So the ankle monitor was the reason you didn't want to go get Jamie? Or you just didn't want to put yourself in that position when she said she was held captive?
No, I was already in a violation because this is another situation where I violated because she got kidnapped in the shelter. So this is the second time she's been kidnapped. Well, she's saying she's been kidnapped. And the first time I ran to her, well, that's it's my fault. Risk being, I knew I was on ankle monitor, so it's my fault. I'm not pointing any finger at anybody. I left to go save her when I knew you should stay your ass at home. You're on ankle monitor. She could down 911 like any other time. I mean,
Right.
But I love her to death. I fought to be with her for the last 7 months, you know, so I felt I was obligated to go get her, so that's when I violated this. The second time, kidnapping, which is the most recent, I didn't want to go get her, because I was like...
Was that the 17th?
Okay. I was like, I don't want to come get you because, for one, you've been gone a week and a half, like... You know, I'm torn. I've been at my mom's house, you know, trying to figure things out, trying to got my job back, so I'm like trying to get back to working. You know, I got this case I've been fighting for months. I gotta you know, deal with, and which in court it was told I cut my ankle monitor off, and I don't understand how that even came about. So if there's any way we can make a report that this ankle monitor's on before they take it off, because like supposedly I don't have an ankle monitor on. And
did you go and get her on the 17th then? Did you actually go?
My dad brought her to my mom's house.
Okay.
And my mom didn't understand that, period. Like, this man hates your guts, you know, he's not helping y'all. Why would he bring her to you? But I mean, out in her comfort. So she always came to me. Well, she got dropped off, and she only had a bruise on her lip, and it just looked like she was from smoking crack, you know what I'm saying? It didn't look like anybody beat her. I really didn't get a chance to look at her because I was so busy. I just was happy that she's safe and sound, so I didn't really cope with it. Later that night, you know, I broke down and was crying because she really didn't want to talk about much, but then she told me Cleveland and 22nd, and then she started telling me a little bit more detail. A guy named Supreme, and then I found a bunch of Fetty on her. So I kind of told her, like, I can't, you being on Fetty, you're already on hell of other medications. I can't condone in that. Like, you know, I can understand any drug in the world, but why would you want to be on something that is not really even a drug? Like, so she would never want to talk about it. She would kind of just like, kind of force it upon me, you know what I mean? Like, well, don't judge me, don't judge me. I'm like, I love you to death. I'll never judge you, but you gotta be honest. That's the key to anything, is being honest, communication. And we were trying to work on that for 6 months. And I was locked up for a DV, domestic violence with her, that was, I don't even know how I got into it. The cop wrote the domestic violence up wrong, so she even was going to court. That's why we don't have a stay away now, because she went to court, got that situated. I played out because I just wanted to get out of jail, so I played to a lesser degree or whatever. And then we went back to court to get the stay away lifted, which she stood there and talked to the judge. Yeah, she...
So when she came back and you said she had Fetty on her, which is fentanyl,
yeah.
right? On the 17th, did she stay with you at your mom's that night, or?
No.
Okay.
No, my mom wouldn't let her stay.
Didn't want her staying.
Yeah, my mom didn't want her to stay because they do charges on me. I've been through hell and back with her. My mom didn't understand why you even deal with this girl no more.
So mom didn't want any of that at that
My
time?
mom didn't even want. Like,
so where'd you guys stay
even
that night?
before that, I've snuck her around, like, or I got violated. What started my violation too, before I had to go get her before, is we would sleep outside in the car, and I thought I was still in range. Well, I guess I wouldn't, like, they're like, you're out all night. I'm like, huh?
All for your monitor.
Yeah, I'm like, how was I out all night? I was sitting out, sleeping in the car, and then one of the guys like, oh yeah, man, you can't do that. And I'm like, I thought 150 feet, so I'm thinking the curb is not 150 feet from the window. And, you know, that's the love of my life. I didn't want her in the street.
So let's go, after Mom didn't want you there, let's go to the next day.
So,
let's go to the 18th.
No, it wasn't the next day. She didn't want her there, so we were, like, she had a friend on the west side. So we went out to the west side, rode the bus. And we got there, and it wasn't nothing but a big meth house. So I'm like, I can't be here. It's not somewhere I can be. I'd rather go back to hoteling or just hang around my friends, because my friends don't be on drugs like this. So she didn't like the agreement, but we did it. So I was like, look, this is what I'll do. I'll borrow some money from my mom or whatever, and get a hotel. If we can't get a hotel, we stay here one more night, and then I'll figure it out, because I'm going back to work. I could probably borrow some money and it just come out my check. So I stayed there, whatever. I didn't have my medication or nothing, so I kind of had a headache and stuff, so I ended up going to sleep. Well, next day, I wake up, go to try to get money from my mom, and my brother and all of them were all into it. She gets mad because her dad was sending her money, but she couldn't figure out how to adapt her car to get the money. And then we have a ride, we're on the bus, it's already getting late. So I'm like, all right, let's go to my mom's, go to my mom's house, pick up my bank card, because I was going to let her use my bank card. And we left from there, but by the time we got to Morris and Cleveland or whatever, the C-Max was done.
Okay.
So there wasn't
no bus?
No more. So I'm like, well, I don't know what you want to do, because I don't want to go back out west. And I don't want to go to my house, because I'm trying to get my shit together. I'm trying to get clean. I'm trying to do these things, and that's against the grain, because my mind's weak, and I'm taking me on medication. I got a broke arm, like my hand's broke. I shouldn't even be, doing this, and plus I gotta get ready to turn myself in and face this probation, because I don't want them thinking I'm running from a case. I'm just scared. I don't know. I don't understand my case. I don't understand what's going on. I don't even understand.
So is that what you guys were talking about, when you missed the C-Bus?
Yeah.
Or the C-Max, the bus?
So she goes into the gas station.
Which gas station?
That's Morris and Cleveland. Okay. So that's the Shell. Okay. And obviously she went to the bathroom, do her thing. And right then I knew you're doing the fatty. I'm not stupid. I know what's going on. So I'm sitting outside and I'm just contemplating, like, I need to leave, because I'm gonna end up doing the drugs too. I already know. I've been doing drugs with her, because I didn't want her thinking that she couldn't be herself. So I dumbed down to her level a bunch of times. I even had to go drop for my probation and stuff, and I dropped dirty, and but I did not want to drop, so I just did it, and I was gonna go to rehab, but I wanted to get her stable before I went to rehab, and whatever probation situation was gonna happen, I wanted to get her stable, because I didn't want her in the street. She's not built for the street at all. I never knew of her having today, even though I've had a few people in the last week and a half tell me a whole different Jamie than I ever knew. But, so after that, she came out and she was upset, saying she couldn't find her stuff. I'm like, what stuff are you talking about? You're not giving me no lead. I don't understand what's going on. She was panicking. She's like, if I don't find this, I'm gonna have problems. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? You know, I'm like, the Fetty, is that what she's saying? Yo, or something for this Fetty? What's really going on? Because how you have so much and you don't even have, she hasn't worked in a year. Like, I buy everything for her. I pay and do everything. So I'm like, I didn't do that. So, you know, you told me that they held you captive and was raping you. Like, is it because you stole their drugs? So she's now agitated and mad. So she's just like, fuck it. I don't care. I'll just kill myself. I'm like, hold on now. Like, why do you always run to that thought? You know, everybody be happy if I wasn't around. I'm like, hold on, you got me, your son, you got your dad, you got a support system. You know, now you just gotta figure that part out. But after as many times as we've gotten into it, and you know, times when I've done wrong, and you know, female at this point, she's not hearing
what you're saying.
What I'm saying. And
are you guys walking down Morris Road at this point? Or you're still at the gas station?
Yeah, we're at the gas station. Okay. She's got, you know, a book bag, and she like has all her stuff laid out on the side. So I'm like, right now you're looking like, you know, you're on some drugs. You're not looking good right now. So.
What was she wearing that night then?
These are all black, maybe.
What kind of book bag does she have?
It's like a flower bag. I bought it for her.
Okay.
So, and she keeps all her stuff in it because I'm forgetful. Around. So, and she's moving around, bouncing around, living in the street. So, she keeps all her stuff. I'm forgetful. I'll lose things, especially if we in people's houses. So she's good at keeping her stuff. So. Yeah, everything's on the ground. I'm like, you know what? Like, I can't keep doing this. I told you before, like, you know, just be honest. So, I got to walking down the road. Well, she followed me, and then that's when we were at CVS. That's across the street, because I walked across the street. And she was like, I don't want to go. Why are you going to your mom's? You just gonna leave me in the street, I guess. I'm like, I'm not trying to leave you in the street. So, what do you want to do? Like, we can go to my mom's house. You know, I can sneak you in, whatever I gotta do. But like, what do you want to do? You gotta let me know. She doesn't get away. Like, she does this little attention thing where she like take off walking and stuff because she wants me to go. Like, that's always
she'll just storm off?
Yeah, that happens a lot. So it's late. So I'm like, alright girl, let's just go to the house. I don't want to be out here. Don't want to cause these problems, and we can't go to my mom's house after leaving. Cool, we can't go to my mom's house tripping because now my mom is definitely not going to let you in, and now you're definitely going to be out in the street. And we're tired of that. She just wasn't comprehending. Like, you could tell she was like twacked out. Like, she wasn't comprehending, wasn't going on. No, it wasn't right in her own head. I could tell from, like I said, how she was just digging stuff out of her bag, and I could just tell this ain't right. So then I'm like, well, I wanted to get some weed, you know, so we go off the street. My cousin's house is up by Carl Road, so it's like, fuck it, get some weed, just chill out. Well, halfway going down that way, she's still mad. She can't find drugs. She thinks, she keeps saying that I think she's cheating all the time and stuff like that. And I'm like, look, I don't care about none of that. I just want to get safe and be cool out the way. So then she was like, let's just go back. So I'm like, all right. So we get to walking down again, and then now we're back to Morris Cleveland, and we're walking down, and she sits down again. She's like, I gotta use the bathroom. So I'm like, look, I don't want to just keep being out here all fucking night long. Like, it's happened so many times. Like, out south, we've sat at a bus stop for hours. Like, you know, trap houses. She just wanted to sit in a trap house. She took 20 pills just a month ago and damn near OD and passed out in front of Kroger's, where we had to like get her up and walk her to one of my friend's houses for her to lay in and try to sleep it off or just hydrate herself. And she slept for like 6-7 hours, but then got up and she was like, thank you for saving my life or whatever. I was at one of her friends' houses out south, and I OD'd. You know, I was in the hospital. I didn't even know. Well, they revived me in the hospital. I'm like, man, even just being around, I get caught up in the mix, and I almost lost my life. So,
how long did it take you to finally get to like close to Mom's house that night? Then, like to Morrison 3. You know that speedway there?
Yeah, this was like we from catching the bus, which was like 10. 20 something to 34 to got up to Morrison, Cleveland, then sitting at the gas station, then walking up Morris towards Carl and coming back. I can imagine that being like an hour, because you know we're walking, you know.
Yeah.
But she's fast-paced walking.
Cause she's mad.
Yeah, and then there was a guy had tattoos, dark skin, smaller than me, who was following, and I said something to him like, who are you? Like, do you know her too? And he asked for a drink or whatever. Did I drink? And then he walked over to cross the street and had walked over to the gas station. I think he was following because, you know, a man and a woman were walking down the street, and you know what I'm saying, we was arguing at that time. I can only imagine he was probably trying to, you know, feed off of it. You know, I never seen dude, so I don't know who he was, and he was just following. And then when I asked him, that's when he was like, oh, I'm just listening to music, do you drink? And just offered me a drink, and I wasn't paying no mind. And so we get back down, and then when she sat down and started digging her bag, I felt like she was trying to get high, you know, do some more fetting.
After she did the first time, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's when I was like, look, just getting my stuff out the bag, you know, I can't condone that. I can't imagine it, because I know where this is going to go. You're getting on drugs, now you're on Fetty. So you went from smoking weed to doing powder, smoking crack, now you're on Fetty. You know, I've seen meth. I'm like, it's just too much for me. I'm barely surviving. I can't afford I can't afford to take care of my habit, can't afford to take care of your habit. I can't afford to do none of this. And then on top of all that, I'm finna go in and take care of this probation violation and stuff, and I'm fighting a case. Like, I'm gonna be sitting in jail wondering constantly
where she's at,
what the hell's going on, which I've already done, because every time I go to jail, she bonds me out, or she's answering my phone. She's, you know what I'm saying, that's my road dog, that's my ride or die, that's my better half.
Did you guys ever make it to your mom's house?
No, I left her from.
Where'd you leave her at?
Because she was tripping, and then I told her I didn't want to do this, and she was like, well, I just killed myself. I'm like, you know what?
Where were you guys at when she said I want to kill myself?
It's like a U-Haul.
Okay, on Morris Road?
On Morris Road. This U-Haul, it's a little bench right there where you can sit at. Mm-hmm. And there's plenty of nights we've sat there and just chilled for hours. You know, numerous times. So, you know, when she was doing that, I was like, look, is there any possible way I could just get my stuff and I'll go to my mom's, and you can call your dad. Your dad will come. I know for sure he will come. I can't even call him myself. She's like, I don't care. I'm just gonna kill myself. Everybody be better off. Like, she just kept saying it and saying it and saying it. So I'm like, woman, this just ain't right. And then what she'll do is she'll go walk in the street. Like, that's been done multiple times. Like, she was walking down Morris Road in the street. So hey, please get out the street. Please come over here. Please just get out the street.
That's in front of you all? She finally walked out?
That's the second time. She had done it on Morris and Cleveland too. Walking down, she was doing it. That's why I was not walking with her. Because I'm like, man, this ain't cool. So when we get down there, then I'm like, yo, what? I'm just going to go to my mom's house. I'm just going to get up and go. So that's what I did. And then she got up, rushed, and got to me. We were at Speedway. And I was like, that's when I asked the people at Speedway, like, is there any possible way she used the phone or whatever? They was like, no. Because we've been there before arguing, so they already know who we are. You know what I mean? They know that I live there, and they know that this is my girl. So they're like, y'all just need to go home. So that's what we did. I asked her again, say, well, I got my stuff, whatever. She was like, no. And I had a bag of clothes from the day before, like that I was sleeping in, like basketball shorts and stuff. And she put it inside the bag. So I'm like,
what were you wearing then?
Oh,
you had clothes, obviously?
Yeah, I had clothes on. That was from what I had worn the day before.
Okay. What were you wearing? You said she was wearing all black.
Yes, that's. I'm pretty sure. I don't think she changed. I'm not sure. But I had a pink shirt and some jeans that I work in, work clothes. So I'm like, you know, why are you doing that? And she just didn't care. She was like a demon, like a devil. She didn't care at the time. So she had the bag was on the ground, so I went to grab the bag, and then she yanked the bag away from me. She was like, no. I'm like, all right. She's like, well, this is my stuff now, my phone and stuff. I'm like, all right, whatever. That's what you want to do. I went to try to grab it again, and that's what she yanked from me. So that's why I feel like it seemed like everybody thinks we were in an argument, but it wasn't an argument. It was more.
You were trying to get your clothes.
Yeah, it was not even. I really didn't care. I just was hurt that.
Pay attention to what is happening here. The detective just gave Antoine an easy out. He said, it seemed like an argument, but really you were just trying to get your clothes. And Antoine took it immediately. Yeah, it wasn't even an argument. I just wanted my stuff. Because Antoine understands exactly what he is doing in this room. He is building a narrative where nothing that happened was intentional. The argument wasn't really an argument. The grabbing wasn't really grabbing. The hitting wasn't really hitting. He is constructing a version of the night where every single moment has an innocent explanation. A bag, a phone in his hand, a broken hand, Jamie walking into traffic herself. Layer by layer, piece by piece. The problem is that the detective has 45 minutes of video, and a narrative, no matter how carefully constructed, cannot survive 45 minutes of video.
You know, she's not comprehending what she's doing and like how she's acting and looking. She wasn't comprehending that, so it's just looking bad. So that's when she was like, fuck it, I don't care anymore. So that's when I said, fuck it, okay. Well, you don't want to give me my stuff, and you're making me look bad, grabbing for it, and now it looks like I'm taking your stuff.
This is Speedway line?
Yeah, it's like it's making it look like I'm taking your stuff, when really, you know, my stuff is in his bag. So I'm just trying to get that. So we got to doing that, and then she got to walking out in front of the cars, and I'm like, calm down. And
now, where was that at? She's walking out in front of cars?
Yeah, so this is all inside Speedway.
Okay.
So I'm like, Jamie, stop. Like, you're doing absolutely the most right now. And then a person pulled up and they're like, look, why don't you just give them the stuff and y'all just go on by.
Somebody actually stopped?
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys are out in the road, like where cars have to stop?
No, they're on the side.
Okay.
And then I was like, this is retarded. Even the person's like, look, just give him the stuff back because he's trying to go, you know. And then there was
Are you talking about you guys right here?
Yep, that's us.
That looks like a gray shirt to me.
That's the button up.
That's the button up. Okay, yeah. And that's her. She was actually wearing a white shirt.
That's my shirt. She put my shirt over top. She's in all black.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So this is as you guys were arguing.
It was getting colder.
Okay.
So she put my shirt over top.
And you guys, she didn't want to give you your clothes, and you guys are walking towards Westerville Road at this point.
Yes.
Okay.
So then I'm like, I'm out of here. So that's when I left.
Where did you last see her?
At Speedway.
At Speedway, like right here?
Me walking off.
Okay. This is the front of Speedway, so did she sit down in the front of the door, or? Here's the pumps, Circle K is across the street. This is in the front doorway. Is this where you guys went in to ask for the phone?
That's what I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, she wasn't with you on Westerville Road before you got to your
she
street,
didn't follow
Bennington?
me. She didn't follow me when I took off.
When
I left after she wouldn't get it back, she didn't follow me. She sat there. She was sitting on the side.
Okay.
And I went to my mom's house. And then that's when I was like, you know what? Let me try to message. That's when I went to my mom's.
Okay. Did you ever hear a crash?
No.
No?
No. But I heard police.
Okay.
Me and my mom was sitting there and we heard police. So we were like, well, I wondered, did she call the police or anything? I'm like, Mom, she was stranded outside. So I can only imagine she probably trying to get a ride to the hospital because she's done that a million times.
Did you think maybe she overdosed or something, or?
That's what I told my mom. I'm like, Mom, she had fentanyl on her. She had Fetty on her. So I just don't think, it's been numerous times she just called, she'll call the hospital and I've seen her fake a seizure to go to the hospital. Like she's gone there and done a little psych kick. Where you go and you get mental tested. She did it, they keep you for 72 hours. She's done that multiple times. She get too high on a drug and start thinking somebody's after her or something like that, and she's went into grave.
So at no point in time did she try and follow you back to Bennington Road right there in front of that car lot?
No, I think that I was assuming and hoping that she was going to come to my mom's, but she was probably, my mom don't play them games, so I assume either she's going to come to my mom's or she's going to call her dad and get picked up by her dad. What happens?
So Mom said when you got back at around 11:54, you came in the back door. You had called her.
We have to go to the back door. Nobody uses my mom's.
She asked you where Jamie was, and your hand was hurt, and you said that she got hit by a car.
No, my mom asked
That's
me.
what your mom told me.
Yeah, my mom asked. My hands broke. So my mom said, "Where's Jamie?" I said, "I left her at the gas station because I was done arguing over my stuff." She was like, "Well, what are you doing? It's late. Like, what are you doing?" I said, "Mom, I'm just gonna stay till the morning, and then I'll be gone." She's like, "Well, okay." So we're sitting there, and maybe half hour, 40 minutes go by, and we're like, "Well, we should go check and see why we're hearing police." She's like, your probation officer is asking you to come in, how many more days you need. And I had told him that I just needed a couple of days to get a few dollars or whatever, and then I would turn myself in to get this taken care of. She's like, "Well, you're here. Your ankle monitor's gonna read, she's gonna come get you."
Right.
I'm like, "Well, Mom, if that's gonna happen, that's okay. I don't really bother mind it." I'm not running from it. Like, I went and dropped. I know I'm dirty. I'm hoping to go to rehab, but then my doctor said that I got mental. You know, the medicine. If they're giving me medicine, psychic medicine, they're trying to tell me that I need mental assessments and stuff. So I'm like,
Were you high at all that night with her?
we got high every day.
Okay. Did you do any fatty with her?
I don't do fatty, so
Okay.
no. I never knew she ever did fentanyl.
So when you get high, what do you get high on usually?
We were like, I would get her crack. I'm a marijuana smoker, and I was smoking hard with her until I got diagnosed with all these diagnoses. So now I'm on gabapentin. They got me taking Seroquel. You know, so I'm on all these different medications now to where, and then my hand being broke. You know,
How long has it been broke? How'd you break it, I guess?
I broke it in jail, and I got out, and I broke it again.
Someone in jail break it?
Yeah, I got into a fight in jail.
Okay.
And then I got out, got a check, and went through that procedure, and then I detailed cars. I ended up shutting my hand in the door. And that's how I re-broke it.
So, let's go back to Westerville Road.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I'm sitting, me and my mom, we're sitting there, and we're like, look, let's go down there. And let's go find Jamie. Let's go make sure Jamie's okay. I'm like, Mom, I messaged her, she's not responding. So if you want to go down there, let's go. I'm like, Mom, are you going to drive? She's like, no. I'm like, all right, well, my friend will come and we can ride with her. Well, they had everything blocked off. Like, you couldn't go anywhere. You couldn't walk down. You couldn't do nothing. So at that point, we're like, all right, well, my friend Loretta, who, like, she does DoorDash, and we never, like, we were just good friends. She's like, well, I can't even get through. Like, they have the streets blocked off. What's going on? I'm like, the streets blocked off. She's like, yeah. I'm like, can you see anything? She's like, no, I'm not seeing anything. So me and my mom are like, well, what the hell's going on? I mean, sometimes she's like, was anybody following y'all or anything? I'm like, there was a dude that I seen on Morris Road, but he had tattoos, skinny, black. It was like kind of almost like an African kind of. But I'm like, Mom, I just don't see nothing like that happening. I don't see nothing. She was like, well, do you really think she would hurt herself or would have committed any type of suicide? And I'm like, no, you know, it wasn't that big of a deal. Nothing happened like that. We were actually happy to see each other. It's just she was on drugs. And she was like, all right, so what's going on when y'all walking in the street? I was like, I was just begging her to get out the street, like trying to make sure she was okay. And she was like, well, you know Jamie's like that. Like, why do you keep going back to her? Why do you keep doing that? I'm like, Mom, I love this girl. Trying to do everything I can in my power to be a better man for her. But, you know, my support system is tired of having to take care of us. And, you know, her family, they never, I don't know if it's because I'm black, I don't know. They never really gave two fucks about me. You know what I'm saying? So.
Well, you didn't leave her at the Speedway because I have video of you two walking past Speedway and walking northbound on Westerville Road past that car lot. And you guys are getting into an argument. You're going back and forth. Kind of similar to what
That's
you
what
told
I
me.
said. Yeah,
But you said you left her at the Speedway.
No, we were on the side. Once she wouldn't give me the bag, that's when I left.
Okay. So, on the side, were you close to that car lot then?
You talking about Jordan?
Yeah, the old
that's
Jordan.
right. That's kind of right there. So
Okay.
yeah,
That's where you guys had your argument?
Well, on the side,
Yeah.
like Speedway, for real.
So, the problem is I have video of Jamie running out screaming for help and you chasing after her. Do you recall that?
No, she was in the street trying to commit suicide, and that's me. If you see, I'm telling her, I'm waving at cars to get out the way.
This is the moment the interrogation changes completely. For 40 minutes, Antoine has been telling his story: the bag, the drugs, the bus, the argument. And now the detective puts a video in front of him, and Antoine doesn't pause. He doesn't look at it and say, "Let me see." He already has an explanation ready. She was trying to commit suicide. I was waving cars down to help her, which means one of two things. Either he genuinely believes his own version of events, or he has spent 2 weeks preparing for exactly this moment. Either way, the detective has 45 minutes of footage from multiple cameras, and Antoine has a story about a bag.
So you narrate this here for me.
Yep.
Okay? These are cars stopping because you guys are on the side here.
Where?
Watch. There's
This is Jordan's right here?
Yeah. See her? Is that you trying to get her out of the street?
Hold on.
See this car stopped here? You guys have already...
Yeah, that's the car that I waved down and stopped.
Okay. You guys have already passed here, so this is you and her, right? And you're telling the car to stop?
Yeah, that car stopped and told her to give me the stuff.
Okay. What is she doing at this point as she's running? Is she trying to run in front of this car?
Yeah, that's me waving it down. That car stops.
Okay.
And that car...
What are you guys talking about at this point?
What are we talking about?
Yeah.
I'm begging her to stop. I'm begging her to please stay, get out the street, just give me my stuff, and let's just stop this.
Why are you hitting her?
Yeah, I've never hit her.
You're hitting her right now.
No, I'm grabbing the bag. I was trying to grab the bag, and she was pulling on the bag.
So is that your phone light? What are you looking for?
Yeah, I had a phone. I had a phone.
So you're moving there? Now why are you dragging her into the middle of the road?
That's not me dragging her, that's me I have a bag.
No, she's right there.
Yeah, and I have a bag. And I'm pulling my bag, trying to get my bag, and my phone's in my hand too.
But you're still dragging her, and you leave her in the middle of the street.
I have a bag.
But look at this. The bag's attached to her.
No, the bag. She has the bag on her hand. She's not one to give it to me.
Okay.
So then that's when I said, "Fuck it, whatever," and that's when I walk away. That's when I left.
Why didn't you leave her onto the side of the road instead of in the middle of the road?
What do you mean leave her?
You left her. This is her.
Yeah, she's sitting there. She was just sitting there like, "Don't leave me."
Right here?
She's sitting there saying, "Do not leave me." Why? How can you do this to me?
So she's yelling that as you're pulling her.
She's talking like she's not wanting to give me my stuff because she didn't want me to leave.
Now your phone keeps going up. It looks like
my phone's in my hand. And that's me. I got a phone in my hand and I got one of the straps that I'm pulling.
So there she is right there.
Yeah.
In the road. Why didn't you help her back off the roadway? It's in the middle of the night.
Well, she wasn't listening and doing anything. She didn't care. She didn't give a fuck because I didn't want to go to a meth house.
You guys love each other. You still, no matter how much fetty she does.
Definitely, and I can't say how much fetty because we've seen there's no win with that. Like I didn't care what drug. I did drugs with her. I told her, like, I don't care.
Do you know what happened after this?
No, until this is Loretta. My mom was like, "Look, go to your brother's house, and talk to your brother and see what y'all can figure it out." Cause I've been drained. My mom doesn't drive at night, so I'm like, okay. So I go there because they got Wi-Fi, so I can use my phone or whatever. So we're calling everywhere.
You were at Lloyd's that night?
Yeah. And we did everything. Like, I even called the jail because I'm like, she had fatty. So maybe police.
She got ran over so many times.
That's what we found out from the coroner at 8-something in the morning.
How did you find out from the coroner?
Because we called every hospital in Columbus. We called both jails. We called her dad, her brother. We called her friend out west. Her name is Sarah. We called her. Like, she's like, well, we're gonna figure out if she was coming here. But I'm like, I know she didn't go back to Cleveland 22nd where she was being held captive. And she said she was being raped. So we just know that she didn't go there. Like,
so watching this video here, I'm watching you punch her. I'm watching you actively punch her drag her into the middle of Westerville Road in the southbound lanes, punch her again until she's motionless, leave her in the middle of the road. She gets ran over by approximately 6 cars.
6 cars. Antoine's response is, she was motionless because she never got up. She was yelling, "We had the bag," as if any of that matters at the point when 6 cars have driven over the person he calls his ride or die. 6 cars means Jamie lay in that road long enough that 6 separate drivers in the dark didn't see her. Because she was not moving. Because Antoine had beaten her unconscious and left her there. Every single one of those drivers called 911 in tears. Antoine walked home to his mom's house.
And it's dead right there.
I don't understand why you're saying I punched her. She was motionless because
She never got up.
we had her back. She was yelling.
But let's go back. Let's go
I don't
back.
understand
She's
why
yelling.
you're saying
Do you
that.
think it was a good idea to leave her in the roadway in the middle of the night?
I left because police. We had already had police being called because the dude that stopped already was like, "Well, I'm just gonna call the police. You won't give them the stuff, and I'm just gonna call the police." So I
So
said,
you
"Sir,
were
I'm
scared
already
the
gonna
police
leave.
were already coming.
I have an ankle monitor and everything, and I'm already on probation, so I'm trying to stay out of trouble. So why would you bring it on to me? That's retarded." So that's when I'm like, "Look, just give me my stuff when I go to my mom." She's like, I don't want to go to your mom. She wants to go to her friend's trap house. I'm not going to no trap house. I'm not doing that. So that's when I'm trying to grab the bag. I have a whole phone in my hand. I'm trying to grab the bag. I don't understand what you mean by fighting going on. And if you saying she was motionless and stuff like that, I would have had the bag.
So let's go back. I have independent witnesses from these cars saying Jamie was screaming, "Help, help, help."
Definitely wasn't screaming no help, help, help.
I
I was waving cars down.
I have 911 calls where
Yes.
people are saying she's screaming for help.
That's
help.
probably because
I
that's...
have neighbors that heard her and you arguing.
Yeah, the neighbors is the one who said, just go home. Y'all are I'm gonna call the police. That's why I left, because I said, listen, just give me my
I'm
stuff.
gonna slow this down for you.
Okay.
One last time. Okay? See this?
Yeah.
Okay? You grab her there.
No, that's the
She
bag.
goes to the
You
ground.
see,
She's on the ground though.
yes.
Okay?
She's
There's cars
she's
going
on the
on.
ground cuffing. She's on the ground cuffing the bag
Okay?
because she doesn't
Go
want
right
you
here
to
though.
take the
Hold on,
bag.
slow down for me. Okay? You see your arm right there?
Yeah, I'm yanking the bag. That's
You're
me
punching
pulling.
her.
No,
You're punching her.
that's that. You can. I have a
Okay,
broke
hold on.
hand. My hand is literally. Look at my hand. My hand is literally broken.
See this? If you just wanted the bag, why didn't you just take the bag instead of dragging her out in the middle of the
That's
roadway?
me pulling the bag. She's holding on to the bag.
And you want her to let go of it.
Yes, I'm yelling. Let
So
go
look,
of the
you're
bag.
still- if she's holding on to the bag, then you hit her again in the head.
I never hit her. I don't know what you mean. I hit her again in the head.
Look, see?
That's me grabbing the bag, and then yes,
you walk
look,
off.
look, go
She's
go
not-
back a little bit.
She's not moving.
Go back. She was laying there saying, "Don't leave me."
Look.
Yeah. You can go back. You
Yeah,
see
right
my
there.
phone's in my hand.
I see your phone. I see your light. Yeah.
You see that? So,
Yep.
and that's my left. The phone's in my left hand. My right hand is broken. There, look, this is broke.
You sure you didn't injure it more by...
Definitely,
Like this?
look at my hand. It's not injured more.
So, look.
It's not.
She never moves.
Yeah.
She never gets up.
She had already been saying she wanted to commit suicide.
But look. Okay? She's not moving at all. So, I understand you say she wanted to commit suicide. But as much love as you say...
And we on being on drugs.
As much love as you say you have for her, you would still want to get her out of the middle of the street. You do not want her to die.
I
correct?
tried and yelled at her. I straight told her, "Get out the right."
Get out, bro. The detective just said, you love this woman. You do not want her to die. And his answer is that he yelled, get out, at a woman lying motionless in the middle of Westerville Road in the middle of the night. Not, I tried to carry her. Not, I stayed until I knew she was safe. He yelled, "Get out, bro," and walked to his mom's house. After 2 years of saying she was his ride or die, after everything he said about love and hell and back, 3 words, "Get out, bro." That is the most honest thing Antoine Phillips said in this entire interrogation.
Where were you after this? Did you just walk home?
No, I was at my mom's house.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Did
Yeah,
you walk
my mom's
home?
house is not far from right there.
Yeah, it's right
So
off.
that's when I went to my mom's house, and that's when I let my mom know. My mom's like, "Hey."
Look. She got hit by a car there.
When? I still haven't seen a car here. Dude, like, I don't understand why.
She's not moving at all right here. She's still not getting up. She's not moving. I don't see an arm move whatsoever. Cars are passing her. You're on your way home to mom's house.
Yeah, because I didn't want to be arrested. I had domestic violence with her. I didn't want any of them issues anymore. So that's why I said, look, I'm just going home.
Well,
and she did that also in Morrison, Cleveland.
Yeah, but she didn't get hit.
No,
see this?
No, because I was fighting
see
with
that?
her. Wow.
5 more times. 5 more times.
How?
How? You left her.
So I'm getting blamed for her murder when she got ran over by a car.
Because she was already beat and assaulted by you and was motionless in the middle of the street.
I never assaulted her. I was grabbing for my bag and stuff, which Speedway, all that show. I mean, you can see it.
I have more of these.
Yes.
These are you two on your way. I see this bag.
Yeah.
I also saw the bag at the crime scene.
Yeah, because I gave up. I said I'm done with this shit and left. I got my phone and left. Which I messaged her too, like, yo, what's going on? Like, what's going on? She just was not giving a fuck about anything, and she said, and that's why she sat down, like, cause I was trying to wave cars out and everything. Nobody was stopping for me. That's why she sat down. So I'm like, okay. She sat on she was like sitting on the bag. So that's why I grabbed the bag and went to pull the bag, and then she would yank it from me. I would grab the bag again. She would yank it back from me. I would grab the bag again. So I was just like, you know what? Fuck this shit. I'm going home. I'm going home.
Antoine, the video's clear that you were striking her. No matter what you say, hang on a second. It's clear that you were striking her. What we want to know is, what was her condition when you left her on that road? Was she unconscious, or did you just...
Notice what the detective just did. He stopped trying to convince Antoine that the video shows what it shows. He already knows Antoine is never going to admit that. So he shifts the question. He is no longer asking, did you hit her? He is asking, what was her condition when you left? Was she conscious? Was she moving? Because that is the question that matters legally. That is the question that separates leaving someone in a dangerous situation from intentionally leaving them there to die. And Antoine, who has an answer for everything, goes quiet because there is no good answer to that question, and he knows it.
She was yelling at me.
What was she yelling?
She was yelling at me like, Twan, where are you? This is like, I would kill myself. I don't care. Like, don't leave me. Do not leave me. I said, Jamie, I can't do this anymore. You're gonna put me in jail over domestic violence, and I don't understand why you keep doing this. Why won't you just give me the stuff? I'm going to my mom's house. Like, I expected her to know I was going to my mom's house to either come to my mom's house or at least be at the gas station, so when we went there, she would be there.
You've lived there pretty much all your life.
Yes.
You know how busy that roadway is.
You
know it's very dark right there.
No, it wasn't dark.
At no point should you have ever left, beating her or not.
I never
you love
beat
in the middle
her,
of the road.
and she leaves all the time.
So then Mom tells me that you called her in the middle of the night crying, and then when you got to her house after you left Jamie, that your hand hurt
I
and
went
your
to her
shoulder.
first.
His side and shoulder, he said his hand was hit by a car, and he heard a noise that makes him think she got hit by a car. This is before you even got to Mom's.
No, I was at my mom's when we were talking. I never called her. My phone doesn't work.
You said earlier you left and you didn't know. You just heard all the sirens and went down.
Yeah.
Mom's saying you said that as soon as you got to her house that she got hit by a car.
No.
And that your shoulder and your hand was hurt and that it got hit by a car.
No, I never. Nobody got hit by a car.
So Mom's lying to me.
No, Mom
Your
did.
mom.
My mom didn't know anything, and I'm sitting here like my hand. You can see my hand's broken. So when I'm telling her like, Mom, I'm trying to get my club, my bag, and she says y'all are fighting again. I'm like, Mom, I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to get back. She wouldn't give me my stuff. She was like, you just need to leave her alone. I said, Mom, that's why I left. I'm tired of everybody telling me to leave her alone, leave her alone. She's not cooperating when she gets on. When y'all doing y'all drugs, neither one of y'all are paying attention to what y'all doing. Like,
well, we did a search warrant on Mom's house that day.
Yeah, my mom told me.
We found your clothes with blood on it.
She had no blood. I don't know anything about that. So, and
well,
I wore them.
Blood probably from punching her.
Then my hands would be cut, sir. There's no cuts on my hands.
Well, not now. It's 2 weeks.
There would be any type of mark.
You said your hand was broken.
Yeah, my pinky has been broke. My pinky's been broke, though. I have doctor's appointments and all.
And then Lloyd tells me that he made you leave his house at 6 o'clock the next morning because he woke up and saw the news. Gave you $5 to get on the bus.
No, he didn't make me leave. I only went over there. They're getting kicked out of their house, so they're not allowed to have company over there. So my brother woke me up and said, hey bro, they're saying she was ran over by cars. I said, huh? I said, well, where's she at? Like, is she still at Grant? He's like, no, it's the corners that's saying. I said, well, I'm not understanding. I got up and I was on my way to Grant, and then I got a call. I got to Grant, and I got a call from my sister. My sister was like, look, don't go there. And we're talking to her dad and them to see what's going on. So at that point, I'm like, what the fuck? So I'm like, Mom. I called my mom back. My mom's like, what happened? Who got hit by a car? What went down? I'm like, Mom, they're telling me she got hit by cars. And my mom's like, well, you told me that she was in a walkway she was trying to get hit by a car to commit suicide, and that's why I told you to leave her alone. I said, yeah, Mom, but I was way out.
Why'd you hide from us so long?
I never hid
for 2 weeks. You knew. I
never hid anything. What I did was I was already on the run.
You were on the run already.
Yeah, I was already.
Of your felony rape and GSI.
Yes, so I was already talking to Jason.
I have obtained 2,500 different documents from Facebook messengers. I have all your conversations.
Yes.
I have all your downloads on your phone data.
Yep.
I have everything. You knew what happened that night.
My mom told me all I needed to do. She said, how many days or whatever you need for us, and I'm gonna take you to talk to you guys.
Mom told me a week and a half ago that you were going to turn yourself in.
Yes, I said, Mom, a couple of days, because you know what? I talked to my attorney, Jason. He told me not to talk to you guys. He said, do not talk to them. I don't see anything on anything. I'm like, well, my mom is telling me that they're wanting to question me about what's going on. So I'm like, what do I do? He's like, don't talk to them. You don't talk to anybody but me. And you see, I'm here still. I'm talking to you. Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, then, I could I didn't even know how to think. I didn't even know how to move. I didn't know how to, I wanted to kill myself losing her. I didn't understand, like, I didn't get why she even just, I mean, I understand being on drugs. I understand that drug too.
Here's my take on this, okay? You two have been going back and forth with each other for 2 years. Correct.
No, we haven't been back and forth for 2 years. No, it's been like 7 months since drugs got real back.
Okay, since drugs got back. Yeah. You care very much for her.
With everything in my heart.
And she cares a lot for you.
Definitely.
I've seen the messages.
I definitely believe that.
I've seen the messages
love
that you
each
even
other.
posted on Facebook trying
Yes.
to show what kind of person she was.
No, I definitely was not trying to show. I was trying to show what type of person her
But
dad is.
I think
to be putting and blaming everything on me, like I'm some bad person or I'm some person who would kill somebody when I fucking called. I didn't call because I got her to call him because she was being kidnapped and held captive. So I felt like, what the fuck?
I think part of that conversation that night was about that night too. About you think that she's doing all the sex and stuff for drugs. And you had a little bit of a disagreement with her about her claiming she couldn't leave because she was fully capable of getting up and walking out the door.
That's how I felt.
Okay.
I felt it. Why?
I think both of you had a little bit too much to drink because you were at Mo's house making music.
That was beforehand. That was the day before.
You
You're
and
talking about this.
and
That wasn't.
Lloyd was there because Lloyd saw you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you guys had too much to drink. She had a little too much drugs. You said fentanyl.
Yeah.
I don't know how much weed or whatever you had, but I think it got a little heated there, and you were done. You had snapped and started running after her. You were tired of listening to her say no, not give you her clothes. So she's running out in the road, asking for help, screaming for help. You catch up to her, you throw her to the ground, and you start punching her. It's clearly on video. I can't make this up.
Yeah, that's not me punching. That's me grabbing her the bag with my
But
stuff in
this is not grabbing a bag. This is grabbing a bag.
Yeah, but
then you drag her across the street.
I didn't drag her across the street. That's me pulling the bag, and she's holding onto the bag.
Dragging her across the street.
So that I had no intention of dragging her or nothing. That's her yanking the bag. Then she yanks it out of my hand. Then I go back to grab the bag again. That's what that is. She yanking.
After seeing this video here, is there anything you would have done differently?
Definitely.
That night? What would you have done differently?
What I should have did was I called my brother and them, but they told me to leave. So I wish I would have never left now, even though that's what I've always done is not leave, and I end up going to jail for domestic violence. So this is the one time where I said, you know what, I'm going to leave so I don't get in trouble and go to my mom to see if my mom can help me. But when we went back, police had the street blocked.
Well, you're here today at Blenheim Township because you're being charged with murder and kidnapping.
Yeah, and I don't understand how did I kidnap? That's what I don't understand.
She's trying to get away from you. You're keeping her from leaving. Then you drag her across the roadway while she's not.
If she was trying to get away from me, how would we even get there? How would we even get there if she was trying to get away from me? She was trying to go to my mom's house. That was me
She's
saying.
running the opposite way now. She's going southbound.
Yes, because she didn't want to give me nothing. She didn't want to give my stuff for them because it's actually tables turn. Because usually I'm the one that would grab her phone and stuff, and then I would keep her phone at the house because she would always come back.
Well, she's clearly running away from you on this one, and with the witness statement.
No, she was running in the street.
Here's the facts of the case. This is what we're presenting. You're going down to jail tonight. You have numerous warrants. 2 for
I was
rape.
fighting the case.
Yeah, you got 2 warrants for rape.
That's one case.
Yeah, you have 3 warrants for gross sexual imposition, which is
That's
the same
all one.
case.
It's all one. And it's false allegations from my ex-girlfriend.
But still, they're valid warrants. You have murder, and you have kidnapping through us.
I'm not understanding how I have
You are
murder.
responsible for her death. Clearly, the video that you
so
just
because I
watched.
left, I'm getting charged with murder.
No. You assaulting her until she's no longer moving, and then intentionally dragging her into the middle of Westerville Road and beating her again and leaving.
I wasn't dragging her. I was grabbing my stuff, but she wouldn't let it go. So how is she capable of holding onto a bag, not letting a bag go? I'm not understanding.
If she was on the ground saying, "Don't leave me," or whatever you said, she said she was doing on the ground.
Yes,
she would be
she even yelled at the lady.
She would be moving.
She even yelled at the lady, "Come get your stuff! Come get your stuff!" I'm already at my street now. So I was like, "No, I'm cool, Jamie."
We have enhanced this video. We have zoomed in. At no point was she moving after you assaulted her.
Then why can't you enhance it to see that I was never assaulting her? I was grabbing my
I
back.
have. I just watched the same
And
thing.
you see I have a whole cell phone in my hand. So I'm assaulting somebody with a cell phone and grabbing the back. Where's these other arms coming from? I don't understand that.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't either.
I'm holding my cell phone.
That video is clear.
And it
that you were
shows,
striking her.
it shows I'm holding my cell phone. And then it shows me grabbing the whole strap of the book bag. I'm pulling on one half of a book bag that she has the other half on her.
It shows her north of Jordan's, running south across the street to the RV lot.
To get hit by a car.
Hang on.
Hang on.
In that lot, she is down on the ground and you're assaulting her.
She
You
sat
are
down.
striking her.
After the car passed.
So she sat down.
After the car passed and said, give him his stuff so he can go, because that's what's been said. She sat down on the bag.
So you're punching her to get her off the bag.
I didn't punch her. I was grabbing for the book bag, and she had my cell phone too. But she dropped the cell phone, so I picked the cell phone up off the ground, and then was because she went to put the other side of the book bag on. As I grabbed the cell phone up off the ground, she goes to put the other side of the book bag on. So then that's when I grabbed the other strap to the book bag, and I'm pulling on it.
Antoine, any reasonable person.
Now she's laying in the roadway after you drug her across the street, not moving, doesn't move again. If she was yelling at you, come back, I'll give you your stuff, she's not even moving.
She's not moving. She's not moving one bit.
That's exactly what I last heard.
So let me ask you this. Watching this video you saw now, I understand your side of the story. You have your side.
You're not.
But do you think 12 reasonable jurors is going to believe that story? With this video we have right now.
The detective doesn't ask this with anger. He asks it quietly, almost gently, like he is giving Antoine one last opportunity to understand the position he is in. And Antoine's response is, "Why don't you have more video showing her following me?" More video. He wants more video. The detective has 45 minutes of footage from multiple cameras showing Antoine beating Jamie unconscious and leaving her in the road. And Antoine wants more video because apparently the video he has already seen doesn't count. This is the moment you understand that Antoine Phillips is not going to change his story. Not today, not in this room, not with this video. The story is the bag. It will always be the bag.
Enough evidence to
there should be
murder.
Why don't you have the more video? That's to see her following me from there to the speed.
I have
to go to
45
my mom's
minutes
house.
of video. I have you guys walking down Morris Road through the gas station lot of Speedway. I have you walking across here and arguing for 15 minutes at 3 in Bennington from the 3C Food Mart video. I sit there and watch you guys pace back and forth, argue until she tries to run from you and you assault her.
So you seen me waving down cars to stop from hitting her. You seen that part too then, right?
I saw the part where she's running away from you.
That's not her running away from me.
And you're waving down cars because you're chasing after her.
To not hit her, because she's saying she wants to die. Just like she said, if you've read the messages, she clearly stated, I just want, I would
Nobody
kill
wants
myself.
to die that way.
What way? She didn't want to die. That was intention. That's what she does.
She didn't, but you did not help in
And
the
then if you
situation by
see the
assaulting
video,
her until she was
I
done.
didn't assault her. I grabbed my phone. I was pulling on my book. It's not my book bag. I got the book bag for her. But all my stuff is in this book bag.
Well,
and then if you see the video like you're saying, you would see that when she ran to the street, I passed her to get in front of the cars coming from the other way to stop them.
Antoine.
Because she's done it numerous times. Like CVS, Morrison, Cleveland.
Well, when I get the blood back from your clothes you wore that night,
That definitely, her blood's
that
not
you have verified this was you
Definitely.
and you.
Definitely.
That's not going to be her blood.
Definitely. I told you, I had a pink shirt on.
Let's go. That's fine. What'd you do with that pink shirt when you got to Mom's? What'd you do with your clothes you were wearing?
I had the clothes with me. Well, when I left, when I got the ride to leave, and we
What'd
couldn't
you do at
leave,
Mom's?
I went to my brother's.
What'd you do as soon as you got to Mom's? You
I
said,
went to my mom to tell mom, to try to tell her what was going on. She really wasn't caring at first until I said, Mom, will you please take me to go with me, because I don't want police to arrest me, so I need you to come with me so we can go see or find Jamie.
Did you change clothes before you left?
No, I had a pink shirt on. Jamie has my shirt that I had on, because she got cold.
Well, this shirt here,
And then I had a black shirt on.
this button-up shirt is what we found in the dirty clothes that Mom took from your room downstairs.
Yeah, that's from the day. That's what I had on. I had changed.
This is the same outfit as this right here. This is only roughly a 20-minute difference. You're wearing the same clothes here. This is the same day as this video here. This is you walking.
No, but I changed. And no, she had on. That's what I'm saying. Like, she had on jeans. She don't have on jeans right there. That's when we first got to my mom's.
This is 5:18 at 11:26. This is at 11:51 the same night.
Yeah, we went to. I told you we went to
never
my.
made it to Mom's.
No, we left from my mom's.
Correct, at 9:30.
Yes,
And
we
went-
left from my mom's.
And you went to Mo's, is what I was told.
No, that's earlier. We had came back. I had got bus money from my mom, and I told you, that was later on.
Okay.
So that's two different times you're talking about.
These are the
Yeah,
same.
and
same-
she had on jeans.
same.
That's not the same outfit that she has on in that video.
The exact same.
She has jeans on, blue jeans on. You can see. You can
She has that
clearly
outfit on.
look at the video.
I don't need the video. I have the crime scene photos when I found her in the middle of the roadway dead.
What she had jeans on.
She did not have jeans on in that. And you had the same button on in that photo as you do in this video until you got home. What I'm telling you is I have blood on the dirty clothes you wore that night. Downstairs.
There's no blood from her on none of my stuff.
What about the blood in the bathroom in the basement?
The bathroom in the basement.
Yeah, where the Clorox bleach was sitting on the floor that Mom and Grandma both said they didn't get out.
What?
In the basement bathroom where Grandma stays.
I don't know anything about that.
Well,
I know nothing about
there was
that.
blood found in the sink.
I know nothing about that.
So none of that.
We're not even allowed to use the bathroom, the basement bathroom. So I know nothing about that.
Okay, what about the upstairs bathroom?
I never was in the bathroom. Period. Never did any of that. I went there, called to try to. She wouldn't. She said, "I'm not driving nowhere. I'm not going anywhere." So I called my friend, and my friend took me. But we couldn't get into the gas station. We couldn't get nowhere around. So then I had to go to my brother's house.
Okay. Well, that's what you're being charged with today, okay? We got some paperwork to do. You're going to go down for murder, kidnapping, and your other warrants. Is there any questions you have for me or any statements you want to change about what happened in these videos or anything that happened in that day?
Yes, I want to know, for one, she got hit by a car.
Not just one.
I'll
tell you this. It was
How am I getting accused with a murder when she was getting ran over by a car? How am I getting charged with a murder?
that video right there.
That video, what? That video shows me trying to get my stuff in there and leaving.
Right. Do you have your story and I have real evidence?
And then I have I don't understand how you sound assaulting somebody with a phone in my hand and trying to grab for a bag. How is she being assaulted?
You're punching her, striking her with your fist.
I'm not punching or striking her. I'm pulling a bag and she's yanking it from me.
Well, that's what we have on here.
So
that's what
you guys
actually
are just
happened.
you're just saying that. You're just putting that shit on me. I don't understand.
No, we're not. The video, your first statement, Antoine, was that you left her at Speedway and went home.
Yeah, we were on the side. I said the side of Speedway.
That's what you said. That was it. And that you just tried to get the bag, said no, you tried to grab the bag one more time, and then you left. And it was right there at the
That's
Speedway.
exactly what I just did.
This does not show that. This shows you were
grabbing my
almost at
bag. She
Bennington.
pulls it back.
There's video from another station that shows you arguing with her for a long time at Bennington, and then it shows her running away from you, and you tracking her down. You did have a phone in your hand.
Yeah.
She
said she was going to kill herself.
You are striking her, and then you drug her across the road and left her motionless in that roadway. She was not moving, and that's why I asked you specifically, what was going on when you left her in that road? What was going on? And you said she was screaming and yelling, but she's not moving.
That video
She was screaming and telling me not to leave.
And you left her.
Because I had a whole probation violation warrant. The police have been called. I am not trying to get in trouble for domestic violence. So
now you're in trouble for murder.
4 words. That is the entire answer to everything Antoine Phillips did that night. He left Jamie in the middle of Westerville Road because he was afraid of getting arrested for domestic violence. He had a probation violation. He had prior DV charges. He knew police had been called. So he made a calculation. Leave now. Avoid the arrest. Deal with Jamie later. And the detective collapsed that entire calculation into 4 words. Now you're in trouble for murder. Because Antoine was so focused on avoiding a misdemeanor that he left the woman he loved to be struck by 6 cars. And the cruelest irony is this: if he had stayed, if he had pulled her off the road and called 911, he probably would have walked away with exactly what he was afraid of, a domestic violence charge. Instead, he walked away with murder.
This is crazy. This is unreal.
Well, we're going to get your paperwork done here, okay? Unless Detective Moore has any other questions.
I don't.
Like, can I see that video again? Like,
I've already showed it to you several times. I get what you're saying.
Striking her, like, she's not.
You know why you're not seeing it? Just because you don't want to see it. You don't want to remember. You don't want to remember what happened that night because the person you love the most was left to die in the roadway, and she was ran over numerous times by cars. That was the worst possible death anyone could ever have.
I don't even, like, when I told she got hit by a car, I didn't even see how somebody could even hit a person with a car.
She's laying down. People can't see it's in the middle of the night. You left her laying in the middle of the roadway where people can't even see her. Those people...
When she was getting my stuff, I said that I left to go get my mother to come back to get my stuff from her.
It was too late.
That is the reason why I walked away, because my mother, I never called my mom.
How many domestic violence convictions do you have with her? How many DVs
I only
and
have
assaults?
1 domestic violence.
You have a felonious assault you got charged with where you hit her with a wrench.
And
you're telling me...
The police officer put that on me because I had left the scene. She showed up at court. She said numerous times. We went back to court that was a misunderstanding and that was not. I copped out to that charge for the simple fact I wanted to get out of jail. But she is staying, Holbrook, my judge Holbrook. She sat there and stated he did not do this. So I don't know my record. Yes, I had.
That doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Yes, I have DVs. I have 2 other DVs on my record. I've been charged multiple times with DVs because I've always any girl I've been with loved. I usually always cheated or something was wrong to where I won't want to ruin my life. So I've dealt with that. Just like I'm facing a rape charge. Never touched the child. The child wasn't even ever around. This same woman that's charged me for rape, bonded me out of jail, was with me after that. I left her for Jamie, and that's when she tried to ruin my life. When I moved Jamie in, because she wouldn't get out the house. So I literally was like, Jamie, will you please just come and be here so she will leave? And then that's when all hell went out. Just like she told the courts that I cut my ankle monitor off and was at her house. My ankle monitor is still clearly on my leg.
I think you guys are a bad combination together. You guys both
and
get
a lot of people said that.
And I have pictures of cuts on her from where she claimed you had cut her with box cutters that friends sent me. I have her with bruises. At the end of the day, you guys got a little out of hand here, and the anger got the best of you.
I do believe we had a bad 7 months. Yes, I agree, but I feel like drugs had a major part because we be broke.
Probably.
And then we be constantly chasing the situation. So I started agreeing and realizing that from people. So I was like, you know, you're right. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, she would always run back. She would always follow me, or she would pop up to me wherever I was at, like, hey. So
But it would all start all over again.
a couple days later, I feel like she could get clean for a couple days, and then she'd be sick and need more drugs. And I would give it to her. Plus, you know
what happens when you give her the drugs?
we both I think we both had mental issues, you know, but that's why she was setting me up and helping me, going to the doctor. Like, I was going to Southeast to get mental help. I was putting me on medications. Like, that's what I've been dealing with. So I just didn't understand. Like,
There ain't a witness that or not.
No, I signed it already.
Okay.
We got it on video. Alright, well, I'm going to get this paperwork ready so we can get you downtown, get you booked on your warrants and your fresh charges. From there, I got to present all my evidence and everything I have on this case. I have about 3 folders about this size on this and the videos, and we will let 12 jurors in the grand jury decide whether there's enough to convict you or indict you on that charge.
Antoine Phillips went to trial twice. The first trial in March 2023 ended in a mistrial. Prosecutors accidentally played an unredacted video mentioning an unrelated rape case, a second chance he did not deserve. The second trial in August 2023, the jury convicted him of felony murder and kidnapping. On September 5, 2023, Judge Michael Holbrook sentenced Antoine Phillips to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 15 years. Think about what happened that night. 2 people who said they loved each other. An argument about a bag that Antoine bought for Jamie that had Antoine's stuff in it, that started on a bus and ended on Westerville Road with Jamie Fulton struck by 6 cars in the middle of the night. Antoine spent over an hour in that interrogation room telling a detective that he was just grabbing his bag, that his hand was broken, that she was the one walking into traffic, that he was waving cars down to help her. All of it on video. All of it wrong. The detective asked him one question that Antoine never really answered. Do you think 12 reasonable jurors are going to believe that story with this video? They didn't. Jamie Fulton was 35 years old. She deserved better than the street she died on, and better than the man who left her there.